Thank you, Chris. Developing this morning, New Mexico State Police are investigating an officer-involved shooting near Los Lunas. Right now, we're still working to learn whether anyone is hurt. It all started 5:30 Friday evening. Cell phone video from a viewer shows this hectic scene near a busy intersection off Main in Los Lunas. Witnesses say the driver of that blue Corvette ignored police's orders to stop. Even though officers surrounded the car, witnesses say the driver did all he could to get away, hopping the median, even running into other vehicles. One woman says it looked like the Corvette was going to hit officers. That's when people heard gunshots.
He just went over the median and they shot, I believe it was 3 times, and he got away.
Witnesses say after those shots, the driver made it onto I-25 northbound, but our video shows the Corvette didn't make it too far down the interstate. It was closed for several hours following the shooting. A fugitive police say pretended to be a cop during a home break-in is now in jail. Berlin police arrested Melvin Lopez this week. They say Lopez and Shane Garcia are the 2 men captured on surveillance video kicking in the door of an Albuquerque home. They say in the video they're serving a search warrant. The 2 allegedly stole about $28,000 worth of items. Garcia was arrested in March. The woman accused of starting a fire at a motel on Central is still behind bars this morning. Police say surveillance cameras caught Jennifer Maestas walking out of the room where the fire started at the Desert Sands last month. The fire burned 2/3 of the building and left nearly 60 people without a home. She pled not guilty to charges of arson yesterday. The judge set bond at $100,000 cash or surety, which means Maestas will need $10,000 to get out of jail. The crash left 1 person dead and 2 critical. Now, a business damaged in the deadly wreck is expected to be back open this morning.
But that's mostly transmission fluid.
Dang. So it was like covering the whole floor?
Most of it, yes. And their stuff was all over.
Like car parts and everything?
We found his tailgate. I mean, yeah.
It's what owners of the ASAP Auto Glass saw yesterday after 2 cars crashed right through their front door. Police say the driver of an SUV was speeding and ran through a red light, hitting another car. The driver of the SUV was killed. His passenger and the other driver were left in critical condition. Unfortunately for the business owners, this is not the first time they've been hit. In 2014, Miranda Pacheco crashed into their front window, allegedly high on heroin. She's the same driver who years earlier hit and killed a bicyclist on Paseo del Norte. Those at ASAP Auto Glass just hope it doesn't happen again.
It's not near the street. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Reckless driving.
Police have yet to release the names of those involved in the crash, but say alcohol is suspected to be a factor. A couple police say tried to dupe a car dealership is out of jail this morning. They say Anthony and Bethany Perno had quite the heist planned, taking off with pricey cars with the promise of paying for them. According to the criminal complaint, it first happened in March when the couple showed up to Mark's casa. The 2 promised to get cash to pay for a Subaru Forester, but after taking off in it, they never returned. On Monday, another trick, this time with their child in tow. The complaint says the duo wrote a bad personal check for a new Corvette at Reliable Chevrolet.
Obviously, they must have looked the part. They must have said all the right things to get the finance departments in order to trust them to leave the lot.
Again, they did not return, but the dealership lured them back by disabling the car through OnStar. They returned in the Subaru where police were waiting for them. The couple was let out of jail so they could take care of their child. Later today, top diplomats from the European Union's original 6 founding nations are meeting in Berlin to talk about Britain's vote to leave. While 52% of Brits voted to leave the European Union, a majority of voters in London want to stay. Now, some are suggesting the capital city should go its own way. Prime Minister David Cameron staked his reputation on keeping Britain in the EU. Now he plans to leave office by October. President Obama spoke with Cameron and agreed economic and financial teams will remain in close contact to ensure growth and financial stability. Britain's surprise decision to leave the European Union is shaking up financial markets around the globe. The Dow opened in a free fall, dropping 500 points in a matter of moments. It never recovered, finishing down more than 600 points. Trading floors in London went wild when the Brexit decision came down. Markets in the UK, Asia, and Europe dropped significantly. Oil prices tumbled. The value of the British pound hit a 30-year low, and banking stocks took a big hit.
The largest industry export out of the UK is financial services. Every large U.S. bank has a location there. We use that as the beachhead to then go into Europe and into Eastern Europe and Asia.
The markets are expected to remain unsettled due to uncertainty. It could take years for Britain to fully withdraw from the European Union. Developing news this morning, we're still working to find out more about an officer-involved shooting on I-25 northbound near Los Lunas. State police are in charge of the investigation, but they're tight-lipped on whether anyone is hurt or killed. It all began Friday evening at around 5:30. Witnesses tell us the driver of a blue Corvette didn't seem to care who he put in danger while fleeing police. Cell phone video sent from a viewer shows how the wild scene unfolded. Though officers surrounded the car, witnesses say the driver did all he could, hopping the median, even running into a Hummer at one point to get away. Witnesses tell us it looks like the Corvette was going to run over officers.
I was heading onto the main road to get the interstate, and I hear what happened. What I think is gunshots, so okay, like I better get out of here.
Our cameras captured the blue Corvette parked on I-25 northbound. It's not clear why the officers were after the driver, and no word on any arrests. We'll continue to follow this and bring you any updates as they become available. Did police give a New Mexico DA who was weaving all over the road a break by letting her go? We have video of how she was driving, even of the cops saying she looked, quote, loaded. Here's News 13's Marissa Lucero with the answer.
I didn't think I did anything wrong, except that I swerved to try to maintain control.
Pulled over with a flat tire and reports of reckless driving. Silver City and state police suspected Grant County District Attorney Francesca Estevez was drunk or high.
What do you think? She's loaded. She almost fell over.
But that fear, along with watching Estevez stumble while walking heel to toe, none of it kept police from letting the DA drive off on her own.
Here comes a car. It's gonna hit.
It started with this 5-minute-long witness video taken on Saturday afternoon this month on Highway 180 west of Silver City.
One off the road, going head on. Other cars coming.
The witness called 911 when he got cell service.
It's swerving like crazy, almost off the road, almost heading into head-on traffic.
A surveillance camera catches the DA pulling into a gas station in her state-owned blue Dodge Charger, with the witness still following her. Silver City police officer Leticia Lopez was the first to respond.
Hey. Hi. How are you?
I have a flat.
Okay.
And I didn't know I had a flat, and I
Stand
kept
by
going
Central.
over and over.
Are you okay? Let me see your flat. Let me see what's going on.
From there, officers step in to help.
We're gonna change the whole thing?
Yeah, I think we have to change the tire.
While trying to change the tire, a Silver City supervisor called state police while talking to the witness.
Was she drinking?
That's what we're still trying to determine right now, yeah.
State police officer Alyssa Flores responded.
Yeah, I don't know what she ran over in here, man, and I smell just perfume, but I don't know if she's on prescription meds. I don't know what the...
Both officers ultimately decide neither agency will make a DWI arrest.
Yeah, I'm not. Because I've already done something like this with Santa Clara where they had me take it. Where they had me take it, and it's a mess.
No. Here's the thing. We're not gonna make you do a DWI.
After nearly 2 hours, that included Estevez practicing a heel-toe walking test on her own and a near crash when officers let Estevez move her car.
Stop! There we go. Oh my God.
Police called in a tow truck to change Estevez's tire, and then, with a few thank yous,
Thank you, Woods.
District Attorney Estevez was back on the road, driving away from the scene on her own with no questions asked. Marissa Lucero, KRQE, News 13.
The witness told police the DA did not get a flat tire until after he shot that video. Both Silver City and state police say they're investigating what their officers did and didn't do. Estevez was never given any DWI tests. So far, she's declined all requests for an interview. Fire crews continue to gain more control over the Doghead fire. It's now 83% contained and is still about 18,000 acres. Now officials are turning their attention to the potential of flooding in the area. The chief of the U.S. Forest Service, Tom Tidwell, Senator Tom Udall, and Congresswoman Michelle Lujan Grisham toured the damage yesterday. Recent rains revealed just how easily the area around Chilliwack could flood. Tidwell says the next phase for crews will begin next week.
Then we'll be looking at where we can do to stabilize these slopes and do what we need to before the monsoons hit, but even more importantly, what we can do for more of the long term.
Udall and Lujan Grisham have written a letter to the feds urging the approval of emergency money for watershed protection. The National Guard's already placing sandbags in areas to help control flooding, and residents are being told to have an evacuation plan in place. The Forest Service says lightning sparked the McClure fire in the Santa Fe National Forest. It's now 50% contained and it's burned nearly 8 acres. Officials say Santa Fe's municipal watershed and the McClure Reservoir are threatened, but crews are working to stop the fire from reaching those areas. We now know the name of a man in New Mexico. A New Mexico state police officer shot and killed this week. It happened in the town of Hanover in Grant County. State police say they responded to a call about a man with a gun. At some point, a state police officer shot and killed 29-year-old Josh Herrera, but investigators won't say specifically what prompted it. They say the investigation is ongoing. The APD officer who beat a man and was later fired will not pay restitution. The victim says it's just not necessary. Cedric Greer beat Adrian Martel outside an East Central motel, but didn't turn on his lapel camera until later. A cadet reported it. Greer pleaded guilty to aggravated battery last month. He was scheduled for a restitution hearing yesterday, but it was canceled. Court documents reveal the victim said there's no need for restitution. Last month, the victim made it clear he was moving on.
It's been rough, but getting through it. He got what he deserved.
The victim says he did suffer some permanent hearing loss. Greer also gave up his law enforcement license, so he can't be a police officer in New Mexico. An Albuquerque puppy is showing off his skateboarding skills. This is Spot, a 4-month-old Australian Shepherd mix. Animal Welfare says a family adopted him only to return him to the shelter because he had too much energy. That's when a group of college kids adopted him. They say Spot has been a great addition to their home. They take him camping and even taught him to skateboard.